Hi, everybody. This is Michelle, and I'm here with Mark Sorenson, the founder and CEO of Royal Fund Management and 401k Maneuver. How are you today, Mark?
I'm doing great. Michelle, how are you?
Doing good. Thank you so much. Before we dive into the question for today, if you are watching this and you like our content, we'd really love for you to subscribe so you don't miss another video that we put out. And also do us a favor and hit the like button, please. Okay, so Mark, today's question is, how do I choose investments for my 401k?
Oh, wow. That's a broad question, Michelle. But then we could probably cover a lot of ground there. But let me start by saying, and no disrespect to anybody watching the video today. However, there are about 90 million Americans that have a 401k, and I would suggest that a high percentage of them do not know how to choose the investments in their 401k. So I have a feeling that this is a very, very common question.
Yeah.
Well, let me start by saying that, it's always been a question because for a long time, it was up to the employee to choose what they wanted to go into. And whether they got advice from, the neighbor across the fence or one of their colleagues at work or the HR director or whomever, they ended up invested in something, and then more than likely they never looked at it again.
Right.
Over time, what the industry did, realizing that lack of engagement, is they created what are called qualified default investment alternatives. And what this means is usually if you enroll in your company's 401k today, they're going to automatically default you to a particular fund. Usually it's a fund, Michelle, that manages money based on how old you are, what your age is, and the expected year or age in which you would retire. So they kind of just lump you in with all your peers of the same age and expected retirement date. After that, you can make changes to your 401k. In fact, it's kind of an interesting story. I have a daughter that is a nurse practitioner, and when she got into her 401k, or got the documentation on her 401k, Michelle, she asked me what she should invest in. And I chose 4 funds for her and said, why don't you put 25% in each of these? We'll look at it every now and then. And she sent it in. She actually got a letter later from her company saying that we couldn't put you in what you wanted to be in. Instead, we had to default you to this, what's called target date fund based on age and expected retirement. Now that we've done that, you can go ahead and make changes. So that default investment option is a large percentage of 401ks have that now.
Right.
The problem I see with that is you end up getting defaulted to that qualified default investment alternative, which is usually a target date fund or what they call a glide path fund or life cycle fund based on your age and expected retirement date. And that's where you'll stay if you never do anything else.
Got it. Yeah, and a lot of people don't even know that they've just automatically been enrolled in it, do they?
Well, no, because a lot of people are so disengaged, they're not even looking at their statements.
Right.
I would suggest though that buy and hold. In other words, staying in the same thing throughout your working life is probably not the best thing to do. But yes, the investment world is complex. You as the employer are probably good at what you're doing in terms of your job function. And all of a sudden you're expected to be an expertise in investments, and it gets complicated. If I talked about which investment style are you in, most people might not know what that means. Or for that matter, where is the momentum quarter by quarter, every 90 days? Is it international, domestic, small cap, large cap, growth, value, et cetera, et cetera. So making choices is difficult because keep in mind that even what you choose today, and let's say it's the best thing you could put yourself in today, might not be the best thing a month from now or a year from now. Times change. So not only do you have to know how to invest in your 401k, you need to be engaged with it and know when to make changes. And that becomes very difficult over time.
So Mark, you mentioned that a lot of people might not know what investment styles mean, what that means. If you said, what's your investment style? Do you want to just share that definition with us?
Well, investment style is defined as large cap growth, or small cap blend, or dividend international, or what have you. So it can get quite complex. And the point is that one investment style will perform better over time than another. There's no perfect strategy all the time, which is why not only choosing your investments, which is the question, can be difficult, but managing that over time and making changes when it might be appropriate to your financial future is probably even more difficult. It's kind of like the old saying in the stock market, buying is easy, selling is hard, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing. You put yourself in an investment inside your 401k, and you might think it's best now, but you have to be able to adapt and make changes over time based on your age, your risk tolerance, the current market and economic conditions.
Yeah.
For example, you might want to get out of the train, off the track when the train's barreling down at you, meaning we're in a bad market situation, or you might want to be riding the wave in the proper allocations when the market's doing really well. Let me suggest, Michelle, that in 2021, I'm not saying you can't do it. What I am saying is it takes a lot of reading, a lot of research. This video is probably going to be online. There's so much online information. If you take the time and you want to be a do-it-yourselfer, you might be able to accomplish it and do a great job. But I would also say that you don't go to the you don't do your own dental work, right?
Right.
If you break your arm, you go to the doctor. There are professionals in the investment space that might be able to help too. And sometimes it's so important with Social Security on shaky ground right now.
Yeah.
With defined benefit pension plans going away.
It's gone, right?
Right. There's the responsibility, unfortunately, is on the shoulders of employees to manage and grow their own retirement nest egg today more than ever. So as important as that is, another piece of advice I could give is, seek professional advice to help you manage your 401k assets.
Right. Somebody who can come in and does know what's going on in the market, does know what's going on with regulation and all this day in and day out thing, like we live in this, 24/7 media world.
Right.
Things change quickly. That's a great idea. Yeah. So, we talked just a little bit about how 401k maneuver helps employees do this.
Oh, sure.
What sets 401k maneuver apart? Let's start there.
Okay, well, 401k maneuver is a personalized participant account management program. What does that mean? That means that we help individual employees, maybe like you, manage their 401k account. The account doesn't have to move. It stays right where it is. We just have the ability to get secure access to it so we can manage it for you. So while you're busy doing the things you love and, are good at what you do at work, your career, with all our experience, we take a look at your account every 90 days to try to be in what's working and out of what's not in terms of riding the wave, as we talked about before. But also the other decision we're making every 90 days is what is the current market and economic condition. As I said before, if the train's on the track, we want to get off, right? So we manage 401k accounts, individual 401k accounts, with the idea of two basic decisions. One, every 90 days, every quarter, is risk management. What are the current economic and market trends? And the second is, if we're going to be exposed to the market for growth, we want to be in what's working and out of what's not to the best of our ability. And that's where I was talking about investment style, for example. For a long time, you didn't want to be in small caps. Over the last couple of years, small caps have done extremely well. So help with somebody like 401k maneuver that, to the best of our abilities, can read the tea leaves and know when it's better to be invested internationally, for example, rather than domestically, or
Right.
large cap rather than small cap, et cetera, could pay dividends over the time.
Amazing. Awesome. And so you can find out more about 401k Maneuver at 401kmaneuver.com. The link is also below this video, so you can check them out there. And then also, the 401k Maneuver on the site publishes a lot of articles, topics like this, topics like, target date funds, rebalancing tips, even like just basic financial information. So I encourage everyone to go check it out. And if you like this information, please subscribe to this channel. We put out content and we want to hear from you too. If there's a topic that you want to hear about, just leave us a comment below and we'll address it. We're always fielding questions, not only from viewers, but from our readers and our customers as well. So thank you so much for this.
Let me just add here at the end, if I can, saving for retirement is so important. There's an old saying that people don't even think about it till they're 50, but the younger you start, the more of a retirement nest egg you can have. Sometimes it's not about how much you're saving, it's the time and consistency of doing it. So I would just encourage everyone to get engaged with your 401k. Whether you take the time to learn and be a do-it-yourselfer, amen. Or whether you seek professional advice, that's fine too. But make sure you're engaged. It's so important.
It is. It's your money. It's your future, right?
Right.
That's it. So, all right. Well, thank you, Mark, and thank you everybody for watching. Until next time.
Bye now.
Bye.